Yo, what's up? This the boy RS Broker.
Yo, this street money. Yo, RS, what's that noise I hear?
You know what that sound mean?
What it mean, boy?
Trying to make some money.
Okay,
You know that's
get
what I
money
do
show.
best. Bring in the bell, man. I'm getting Wall Street money. I get Wall Street money. I get it. I'm getting Wall Street money. I get Wall Street money. And the way a nigga does, you think of guns and drugs. What's up, folks? This is boy Raw Street Broker, and I got my man.
Street money in the house.
And we here, we gonna talk a little bit about we're gonna talk a little bit about Bitcoin and the altcoins and all the other stuff. We talked last week or a couple weeks ago, whatever, about Bitcoin just getting into the game. And this time we're gonna actually talking about what's been happening since we talked about that.
Yeah.
Woo, it's been crazy, man. It's been really crazy, street money. Like, what's supposed to happen tomorrow?
Well, outside what's supposed to happen tomorrow, when we did the last video,
Okay.
Bitcoin, since we talked about how to get Bitcoin, where to buy it from, from the Coinbase, the link is down below. Y'all can check that out. It was at 15 something when we bought the $50 worth.
Yeah, the $50.
You know what I mean? So now, which is 1 week later, Bitcoin is now at 19,000. At this very moment, $19,700 a coin, and we purchased at $15,000, maybe $200 a coin. So I don't know what to tell you. This thing is out of control.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And not only that, tomorrow is actually going to go into the CME, known as the Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
Okay.
They're going to start trading the futures. Now, that's the big exchange when it comes to futures, you know. And they're about to start this thing right now. I know, you know what I mean? I'm talking that big stuff when we talk about the stock market and all that, but dude, this thing is real, man. This digital currency stuff is here. It's here to stay, man. Like, I've been like for instance, I've been like, Coinbase is the start. You know what I mean? It's the startup when you get into it. But you know, Raw Street Broker and Street Money, we don't just stop at that. You know what I mean? We start asking questions. We start asking. Now, I'm going to tell y'all a story real quick. This is how Raw Street Broker messed up right here. Had one of my young boys, right? They literally told me to get into Bitcoin like 2 years ago, or accountant that I had, that I used to supervise. He told me, yo, you need to get into it, dude. Like, you got to get into it. This is the new stuff. You know, I'm thinking he's some young boy. He just started. What he know about money, right? Not paying attention. He told me about this when it was like $70-something or something crazy, $60 or something. So he wound up getting a couple of them in there. And you know what's crazy? I haven't seen him. I haven't seen. Now, the other boy who told me about it, this was over the summer. And he was like, he from Bolivia. And he was telling me about it. He had a couple of them. He ain't have a lot. See, he might have had like 1 or 2 or something like that. But, you know, he just wanted to see what it was about. He was like, you should really look into it. And back then, over the summer, it was probably like 4, 5. I can't remember how much it was. But he didn't have a lot of them, but he had some. And I know he doing good because he told me in the summer, hey, you need to get into it. I'm telling you, this is what it is. And I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. Actually, it was before the summer. This was like March. He was telling me to get into it. So I had 2 people tell me to get into it, and I lunched. That's missing out, and I felt like Jay-Z. Dumbo. I didn't do it. And then I seen him again at the gym. He was like, did you do it, Raw Street? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to look into it. I know I messed up. He's like, yo, why you ain't look into it? It's like $700, $800 now. I'm like, all right, I'm going to look into it. So I looked into it a little bit, and then I lunched again. Now I was buying other stocks, you know what I mean? And they did pretty well, you know, but I lunched again. And then we decided to do this Get Money show, and we started talking about it, and I started talking about cryptocurrency. And Street Money like, what is this? So Street Money actually went and did the research where Raw Street Broker was like slacking on it. So I cost myself a lot of money. That thing, I cost him money about that too. Because I know if I'd have mentioned it to him, I know he would have went and did some research and he would have got into it, which would have made me get into it. So he went and got into it first. He started doing, he's like, yo, Raw Street, you got to get into this, Joe, man. This thing's serious. So I was like, all right, he sent me the link. I went and got on too, you know, so that's how we started. And ever since then, like, I was like, yo, I need to start putting my research in it. So I started talking to other people who I knew that was doing it, and the dude from Bolivia. So I had the homie from China and the homie from Bolivia telling me what was going on with it, and that's how it started. So I went from Coinbase, and now I do with Binance too. So I'm dealing with both of them at the same time. Street money. Which one you working on? You working on Coinbase?
I'm working on Coinbase, GDAX, and now I'm about to do Binance with you because
and I'm going to do GDAX. So we'll go ahead.
No, I'm saying I'm just following your lead on the Binance. I'm just checking it out, doing my homework. I mean, I believe anything you tell me, but I still do my homework, and that's what you guys have to do. Still do some homework on it. I mean, people say a lot of stuff. They might be hype or whatever, and then they don't ever really do anything. They just hype, talk, and mess. You mess around, get in it, and you lose your money. Hey, crap happens. That's why they call it investing/gambling. That's how I look at it. But you just try to eliminate your risk by doing your research. That's called eliminating your risk. You know what I mean? You might hear about it here on the Get Money show. Hey, we're telling you what we're using and what we're doing. We showed you in the other episode, the other week, episode 5, what we use, how we do it. You've seen me buy. I think I've been with Bitcoin $50 worth. That money, I done doubled that money, and I gave that money away to my kids.
Right.
And then the money I gave away, since it was still going up, I done got my money back. So the kids got free Bitcoin.
Free Bitcoin.
My kid, man, look, my oldest daughter had no clue what Bitcoin was. She got it now. I doubt she even looked in the app to see where it's at now. So I know the little bit that I gave her is more than what I gave her right now.
Right, by now, because it's at an all-time high now.
It's almost 20
It's almost
grand.
20 grand.
20 grand. When we first got into this thing,
it was what, 4 or 5?
4,900 when I got in.
And then if I'd have paid attention, I've been in there 2 years ago. I'd be retired.
Yeah, I heard about it in the summer. And I just didn't do anything either.
Yeah.
When you mentioned it again, first mention, I got to get on.
Man,
check it out.
And that's what happens when you have opportunities and you lunch.
Opportunities that come.
So when they come by, you really should get into it. And now, like I said, it was a couple young boys, some of the young coworkers, and I was there. I was at their time. I was dude supervisors. Actually, I was both of their supervisors, and they telling me, I'm like, hey man, I'm teaching y'all how to do the job, and y'all telling me what I need to do. I already got the real estate and the stocks. I'm cool. No, they ain't the attitude. When them young boys talk, old heads, y'all gotta listen because they in the forefront of all the new stuff that's going on, and they'll tell you how to get to it. You just gotta be, willing to listen to them and really take the time to get into it. So I'm just glad I got into it when we got into it. Was September, October, or something like that. But I'm glad we got into it then, rather than right now in December or January, whatever coming up.
I don't think it's too. It's a big number. I ain't gonna hold you. 20 grand is a big number, but for the full scale of things, I don't think it's too late. You could probably put some money in. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm saying if you were to put your money in, now's probably about the time. At the end of the year, the CME is getting into it. They're going to do futures, so that's two.
Exchanges.
Two exchanges, two government entities, however you want to call it, are getting into futures with this Bitcoin thing. Then in January, end of January, beginning of February, NASDAQ is going to start out with futures, and then there's another exchange called Gemini.
Gemini, okay.
They're out of New York. They do the same thing as Coinbase, but they only do Bitcoin and Ethereum. So they're pushing to get a stock of it, or EFT or something. They're trying to do something like this, ETF, something they're trying to do.
Exchange traded fund, right?
Yeah, some kind of exchange traded funds, and they got turned down the first time, but they got it on appeal. So they're pushing, and they got a couple of money. I can't think of their name. They're the Wisconsin brothers. The guy that owns Facebook. Who is it?
Zuckerberg.
Right? Zuckerberg. Remember in the movie? If y'all seen the movie? These were the two brothers that actually came up supposedly with Facebook, and they sued Zuckerberg. They won. They got paid. They went away, and then Facebook continue to flourish.
Absolutely.
Well, these are the same two brothers. They got into cryptocurrency, and their exchange is called Gemini. So they got money. They are smart dudes. They are really the originators of Facebook, really. So now they're pushing their thing, and they're pushing to get it to become an exchange fund. And this thing is about to blow. So don't sleep on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't saying, I watched some videos on YouTube where there's millionaires saying you could afford to put 1%, like 2%, and 3%, and 5% of your net worth in cryptocurrency. So
because it's at its infancy, even though it's only been around since what, 2009.
Yeah.
Think about this, street money. Think about this: the internet. The internet actually was out, and it was started by the government in like 1969 or something like that, 68. It didn't start hitting the masses to like what, the early 90s, maybe. Something like that. It took like 30 years, or maybe 20 to 30 years for it to catch on to the masses. Now think about this. Now you got cryptocurrency. It's only been 10 years. Not even 10 years, because it started in 2009. It was only been like, what's that, 8 years?
8 years.
8 years. You at its infancy. It's at the beginning.
It's called ease of entry.
Yeah.
Of course, in 1960, ain't nobody had no computers in their house. But as people started getting computers, then that was the ease of entry to get into the internet, and it was the big dot-com boom. And people were like, oh, it's a bubble. It's all a bubble. It's all a bubble. It just is. And now, don't let this bubble word, to me, don't let it scare you. Right.
Oh, scary money don't make no money.
Scary money don't make no
Never
money.
did, man.
Everything's gonna crash. Now, think about it. How many bubbles have we been through in our lifetime? 2, 3?
Probably 3.
Well, 3, right?
People say we in one right now, huh? Not just with this crypto.
Yeah, that's outside of the fact. Personally, if this bubble break, everything gonna break. Cause this is the monetary bubble. This is the Fed done printed so much money. They done tried this economic easing, whatever they want to call it, quantitative easing. It crashed. Everything gonna crash. So it ain't gonna make much difference. So you gotta get a hold of as much money as you can. And don't put it in your mattress though.
No. Because it ain't doing nothing. It's sleep. You put it in the mattress, that means you put it to sleep. And it's sleeping in your mattress, just like you are. When you sleep in the mattress, it's sleeping in the mattress. When you go to work, it's still sleeping. That thing's snoring. It ain't out there. You know what my money do? It work. All the time.
Put it to work.
Get a job. It work. All day. It's got a job. It's always working. It's constantly working. And it's kind of moving to that era pretty much, where you don't want to be relying on, like, say, for instance, the government or anything like that. All the time. You really kind of want to take control of your own finances and so on. So this is why we like this, because like we were saying, this is in the infancy of a cryptocurrency. So, I mean, like street money, right now, all of us is in Bitcoin and so on, of course, Litecoin and Ethereum and all that. But what about those other altcoins, like
the alternate coins?
Yeah, the alternate coins, man.
Alternate coins, I like a couple ones. I like Dash and I like Ripple. Dash is another currency, and they're trying to hook up with exchanges where, like, when you go to your local store, you swipe your card and all that. They're trying to hook it up like that, so more people will use it outside of the internet. Right now, you mostly can use it on the internet, Overstock.com. eBay is now getting into it. PayPal's already been into it. There's some middlemen growing out there where you can use it on Craigslist, but you got to go through a company to do it, so they get a little fee. So some middlemen popping up all over the place. And believe me, these places wouldn't be popping up if there wasn't no money in it.
Absolutely.
I'm halfway smart, so I know they super smart, and they getting it in.
They getting it in, and the talking about favorites. My favorite right now I'm in a PO, which is called Poet coin. I'm also in another one that's called Yo-Yo. It's also known as You Own Your Own Words. That's pretty cool. And then I'm also in Cardano, which is ADA. And those are my 3 right now. The reason why I'm in Poet and what's the other one? You only own your own. You own your own words. Is because it's owning your own content, especially if you're in the music. You know, Raw Street Broker. You know, I used to be, in the hip hop, but we ain't gonna talk about that. I used to do that. You know, that song you hear, you know what time it is. That's me when I was doing my thing. But owning your own content is great, and I think it's Adam Levine. Somebody famous is heading Coin. And I can't remember who it is. We're gonna look that up. But like I said, don't just take my word for it. Y'all gotta do your homework too. We talking about y'all livelihood and y'all money, so y'all gotta do your homework. YOLO, that's based over in China. They pretty much, whenever they put their content out, I think they use Baidu. I can't remember, is it Baidu or Alibaba? I think it's Baidu. That's just what they use as far. That's their Google. So they pretty much trying to own your own content, and people like post it out and all that. They make their money off of that. So I thought that was a good one too. And everybody, pretty much people who kind of getting into Cardano, a lot of people getting into Cardano. That seemed like that's a pretty good one. So those are 3 I'm in now. And then eventually I want to get to the Ripple, like Street Money was talking about, and also the IOTA. I'm kind of thinking about that. I know they had something with Microsoft.
No, that was actually Dash. I was talking.
That was Dash.
Yeah. But with Ripple, they got a whole other thing. They're a company that's dealing with cash transactions, but they're connecting with banks, so they can run through banks and overseas. They got to be connected to like 11 different types of banks. Our Royal Bank of Scotland and banks like that, they are connected. And they got one U.S. bank that they're connected to, which is American Express. You may not think it's a bank, but it's a financial institution. So they're figuring out how to do their transactions through there. So Ripple's really, really big. It's coming along. Right now it's cheap. It's actually like 78 cents, 75 cents,
something like that.
A coin. So that's some serious things. So that's what I'm trying to get in now. Grab 100, 200, and just lay back and ride the waves to hopefully do what Bitcoin did in a year, because Bitcoin shot up.
Yeah, that poll I was talking about, that's old. I think, don't quote me on Adam Levine, but that poll, when I first got into it, was half a penny, 0.005. Now that thing at 2 cents. So I'm, that was pretty doing all right, and I'm probably actually wound up getting some more. YOLO was doing the same thing. Like that was at when I got in, it was at 36. It's like 45 now. So I kind of got in there a little late, but it's okay because I still believe it's going to pop. And ADA, I got in that, and Cardano was at 20 cents. Now it's at like 40, so that's cool. So I doubled that. And now I'm pretty much did those in the last couple of weeks. Like I started with the basics with the Bitcoin and Litecoin. I did all that in September, October, and now I'm like, let me see what this other stuff is. I'm trying to hit that bottom, get in at the bottom, so when that thing pop, maybe I too will be that little.
This is long term stuff. This ain't none of this stuff is getting rich quick. I mean, even the guys that's millionaires and billionaires now, they got in 4 years ago, 5 years ago. So, it just paid off. So I'm just looking for ones, and we just try to keep you guys up to date on which ones we getting into. It is up to you. Do what you want. We're not totally experts, but putting my money in makes me somewhat of an expert because I'm in the game. I got skin in the game.
Gotta get in the game. You can't make money sitting on the sidelines watching everybody. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, when you see this video, when you look at it, I guess post on YouTube. Let us know what you think about some of the currencies that you might be dealing with. If you are, or what you thinking about getting. But you definitely have to look into it, read all of them. It's like, what's it, 1,000 currencies, 2,000 awesome coins, something.
It's like 1,300 to 1,500.
There's a lot
coins out there, and some of them are, from what I hear, are fake ones. People just got money and they just start their own coin and hope it work, but nothing really behind it. Like we spoke about ones that has some substance to it. As far as the poet one, was it poet?
Poet, yeah.
The poet has some substance behind it. Ripple They're connecting with banks. IOTA in the news, it said that IBM were connecting with them. So that's why it kind of caught my attention, but they didn't actually connect just yet.
Yeah, was it Microsoft or I can't even remember. We read so much of this. One of them, yeah.
It was one of them, but it didn't happen yet. So to me, I got it on my radar, on my notes, but I'm just looking for things that could pop and could actually do something that has some substance, that it's not just some company doing something, you know what I mean? So, and just like the other one, Dash, you know, they're trying to connect with exchange companies to actually be middlemen for, you know, when you go to your local, to the Poppy store, you swipe your card, you can pay with your Bitcoin, pay with your Dash coin, you know, so that to me, that's substance, you know what I mean? So that's pretty much it. So do your homework. Start with the basics. If you're going to do this cryptocurrency thing, start with the basics with Coinbase. We don't get paid by Coinbase, but Coinbase is like the, but it's the easiest way to get in the game. After that, you can spread out and go to GDAX and what's the other one?
Binance.
And Binance. The reason we only speak of those three, and there's plenty more, you know, Cointopia, a whole bunch of other ones. The reason that we don't speak of them, I think another one's Cardan, or something like that with a K. Reason when we speak of them, did my homework, didn't quite like them. You might do your homework and you like them. But, you know, until you do your homework, you don't know. But it's an opportunity. And as RS talked about earlier about opportunity, how he let slip by 2-3 times. So,
slacking, you know what I mean?
You heard it here. I mean, for some of y'all, you heard it here first. But like Ross Street said, we about to get out of here. If you got some ideas or something that you're using, some cryptocurrencies that you're using, hey, put it down below. Let us know what you're using. I'd love to hear about it. Do some homework on it. You might know something that I don't know. Right. Just let us know. I mean, hey, it only take a couple types, you know, a couple letters.
Hey, man.
Give it to us.
Why
Give
not?
it to us raw.
Alright, so this is a Get Money show. It's your boy Raw Street Broker. I got my man Street Money. And look like we done, right?
Yeah. Alright, hit the music.
Do it, dog. Who am I? I'm RS Broker.
This is a Street Money. I'm out of here.
And guess what this is called? The Get Money Show. You know what that sound means? It means it's time to make some money. And you know that's what I do best. Bring in the bell, man. I'm getting Wall Street money. I get Wall Street money. I get it. I'm getting Wall Street money. I get Wall Street money. And the way it does, you think of guns and drugs, but I think suits, dress shoes, and coffee mugs. Owner keeping pools and high office loans, and offshore accounts and gold have by the ounce. Make any young chick bounce. Make any cool girl pounce. On the street, it's all about high yields and balance sheets, interest rates and earnings reach. Man, I got this game. I'm staying on the street, cause this money come in different weights and sizes, and it come from corporate ties and tax disguises. They get passed by the IRS, watch your eyes. That's why, man, in this game they call me UB Hauser. Not because I move bills or powder, cause I own shares of Merchants Pfizer. So